So first things first, how to practice. I really can't stress how important this is. I really want you to watch the whole video. Just watch all through it. If you can't watch it right now, pick another time. And there is lecture notes that I wrote and I sent them to you. So they are pretty good. They are pretty they summarize everything I'm gonna say. They actually say everything. They just don't summarize, and they're written in a beautiful way. So they might help. Please read the lecture notes. It's very important. If you take magic seriously, this can change your life. So how to practice? Practice is the part that most people, I'm gonna say, not only magicians, get wrong. They don't do correctly. See, simply doing something over and over doesn't guarantee improvement. We don't learn by only repetition. Repetition is just a small part of it, and we only know about this. Let's know about the bigger secret. I've been working in practice and I've been studying the work of Anders Ericsson and great guys like Robert Greene. These guys have dedicated their life to see why experts are there. And they came up with one answer, and it is effective and deliberate practice. There are books for like Peak by Anders Ericsson and Mastery by Robert Greene. I really recommend these books if you are a book person, but you don't need them if you just follow what I'm going to talk about right now and apply the tips that I'm going to talk about. And this is very important. When you apply the tips, you're going to see how fast now you can get stuff. You can learn even faster. Like rapid learning is maybe the most amazing skill you can have. You can do stuff that people other can do. They do in an hour. You do it in like 10 minutes, and this is gonna save you a lot of time and make you better. And that's why you can be an expert. Now we're gonna talk about six tips in this video. I hope you apply as much as you can. If you can apply all of them, these are tips that are working for me. There are other stuff that I don't think work for magic and practice. So I've designed this practice thing to be only for magic. If you want to see if you want to see a lot of other stuff about practice in general, please tell me, and I will be happy to go deep with you into this. I just don't want this to be so long. So jumping into tip number one, again, I really hope you actually do these tips. Tip number one is don't practice 100 things at once. We all do this mistake and we think it actually accelerates our learning, but it actually does the exact opposite. See, when you have 100 things going on your mind, I want to DPS, double lift, this, you can't get better at any of these. You kind of need like a year to get better at any of these. If you want to get better at one thing, practice only that thing. You don't want to mess in your mind. When you just pick one or two, it's not like one thing. You can pick one, two, three things, but just make them few and easy for your mind to remember that I'm practicing these right now. What I say, what are you working on? You shouldn't go like this. You should instantly tell me this, and this. And when I master these three things, when I finish these three things, I'm gonna move on to the next. This is the only way you can actually master stuff. If you have 100 things at once, you're not gonna master anything. So you need to be organized. This is very important. You need to be organized and focus on few things. We think that we want to do all this stuff. We don't want to learn all the magic. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. So organization, talking about organization, this actually brings us to tip number two, which is the key to actually applying all the rest of it. If you don't have this, it's going to be really hard for you to have the rest of them. Tip number two is have a practice journal. This have helped me. I can't even describe by words how important that was and how helpful that was for me. I just have a journal. Here it is. This is my practice journal. It's just a small notebook that I write in it every single day. I write today is like Monday 22 from the month, whatever. And then I list down like 3 to 4 things that I want to practice today at practicing and just focusing only on these. Again, don't write a 100 thing list, just as we said on tip number one. So yeah, every day here's a sample of it. I just write stuff, and it also helps me when I come up with an idea. I just write it down. It's not like exclusive for only writing dates and stuff I want to practice. If I want to come up an idea, just write idea and then I write it down. So this actually helps you whenever you want to practice. You open your journal. You know you have something to look at. You don't have to have it in your mind all the time. We just want to free our mind and let it just focus on the important stuff. So having a practice journal is very important. So tip number two was have a practice journal that will help you know what you're practicing and what you're working on and what you have finished and what you still have to work on. It helps you to track your progress. Jumping in right into tip number 3, which is, I'm sorry if I yell at this because it makes me angry. Start slowly, practicing slowly but correctly. You don't have to be clean. At first, you're practicing, you don't have to be clean. Don't make up stuff to be clean. Don't expect to get stuff right away. Things take time and patience is key. Again, patience is the key. So don't let's say you want to practice, so people want to practice DPS and they saw that guy doing it and he does it really fast. He just take it and it's in palm. I want to do it too. So what I do I start slowly and actually see every difficulty of my hand and then try to analyze it and overcome it and then increase my speed gradually like I should do? No, I do it fast and then it doesn't happen and I say, oh, DPS is hard. I'm not gonna practice it. Could you please give it a chance? Start slowly but correctly, like the pass. I see people want to do the pass and they're halfway there, but they're not, like, they can't do it invisibly yet. So what they do to be clean with the practice, they do this, and it looks clean, and they say, "I'm done." It's not done. You just did this, which is not correct. So you should start slowly but correctly, even if it flashes, even if it's not clean. Start slowly but correctly, and then start one time by time, increase your speed gradually so you can actually get to the speed that you want to make it invisible without adding that extra motion. Because don't do this, because if you did this and if you started the wrong way, it's going to be very hard to get back to the right track. So start slowly but correctly. The next tip, I want from you to be focusing so much on it because it's very important, which is mental connections. Tip number 4 is mental connections, and this is the deepest between all. Jumping into tip number 4, which is really one of my biggest secrets when it comes to practice. I discovered this myself, and it's actually was a real thing. It's actually backed by science, and I want for me to really focus on this. Tip number 4 is create mental connections. Now, if you've been in the webinar, the live webinar, you've already had an idea of what this is, but you might not fully actually got the idea, so I watch it again. And if you were not, please focus on this to get what I'm going to talk right now. Mental connections. What are mental connections? Mental connections are when you actually connect a thing to an action inside your mind. So then when you see or experience that thing, your mind will be very ready to do that action that is connected to. See the connection. Like, let me give you an example. It's pretty gross, but peeing. I'm sitting right here and I really need to pee. Can I pee? I can't. I can't. It just takes a lot of effort. Maybe I can, but it just takes a lot of effort. But if I just go and sit on the sit on the toilet, it's just gonna happen. I'm not gonna even think about it. Just pee will secrete out of my. Okay, another example. Anyway, so the point is, I have created a mental connection in my brain between the bathroom or the toilet and peeing. So when I sit at the bathroom, my mind goes into peeing mode. I don't even have to think about it. Just I'm halfway there. But I can barely pee in any other place. So mental connections are very important and they just show up in every aspect in our life. And why don't we apply them to practice? So we have to apply mental connections to our practice because it's very important. And I think that's how we mostly engage our brain to stuff. So the more you create mental connections and the more you connect stuff to practice inside of your mind, the more your brain, when he experiences that stuff, will be ready to practice, and you will be learning stuff so much faster. You may not actually believe this right now, but try, give it a shot. This is one of my biggest secrets in progress in practice. So here are 3 mental connections, but you can come up with anything you want. Mental connection number 1, which is the most important one, fix an area where you can always practice. If you have a place where you can always practice without distractions, this is very important. You can create a mental connection between that place and practice. So when you sit at that place, your mind will just go into, oh, I'm sitting here. I should practice. You are halfway there. You think this is obvious and like you can just easily sit anywhere and tell your mind you won't practice, but believe me, it just doesn't work this way. Sit here and tell your mind I want to pee. You will not be able to pee. So again, sorry for the gross analogy here, but this is very important to have a place where you can always practice, and it's very good if that place is distraction free. You can only focus on your practice. It's very good. That's easy to reach and to set up. You don't want to do much effort to do it and to sit and practice, because like the analogy of the going to the gym, if the gym is like in the in another place, it just takes an hour for you to go. I do not see you going there every day. But if you just like the gym is near your house, you're gonna do that every day. So complexity is the enemy of executing. So have it simple. Have that place. I just sit here. I put my mat. The tripod is already there. I just put it because I'm gonna talk about recording the practice in tip number 5. Put my phone and start practicing right away, and my mind just go like this into practice mode. Another mental connection you can do, which is to listen to certain music when you actually practice. So always when you sit to practice, put earphones in and listen to that music. I don't do that because music doesn't really, I don't really listen to all music. But if you're a person that listens to music and music have are associated with memories and actually have an influence on you, this may be very helpful. Now, when you actually listen to that music, your brain will recognize, oh, I should be focusing on practice. And please don't make it like a song or a rap song, just a simple music, focusing music. Even if you just don't like it the most music, just have it in your head while you practice, and you don't want to make it complex so you actually get distracted by the music. Okay, so you're doing the opposite. So have that music, practice. This is optional. Again, this is not important as the first one, which is to have a fixed area to practice, but this might help if you are a music person in general. Third mental connection is time, which you should master your time management in life, not only in practice. Master your time management and your life will go to here, just that fast. But in practice, if you set a time, specific time that you actually practice, and let's say when you wake up, like half an hour after you wake up, you always practice. That is your practice time. That is another mental connection. Now, your brain knows even before you practice that I will practice. Again, you are more than halfway there and you're gonna learn super fast. Now, when you sit at that place that is fixed to practice at that specific time, listening to that music, that are three mental connections, and your brain will be like this into practice mode. You will be learning so much faster. Believe me, I tried it, it worked for me, and it will work for you 100%. This is not very obvious, this is very deep, and if you really want to be one of the best in the world, you should have it. I bet you go to anyone that is one of the best in the world or like very good at his craft and tell him where he practice, and you will see that he have a specific place and he have his own ritual for practice. So do this, take care of your practice. Tip number 4 was create mental connections. Tip number 5, which is the easiest of all and you should all do it, which is record your practice. As I'm recording this right now on the tripod, I record my practice every single time. If you practice without recording it, you lost half your work. Believe me, you lost half the work that you did, because you actually want to see how much progress you're making. You want to see the mistakes you're making. Sorry. So when I watch my recording, I see, oh, I have this, and I watch in super slow motion, as in tip number 2. I zoom in, so I see the movement, what I should fix, and how I should actually do it. Because if I didn't have the recording, I might be doing stuff wrong way and think I was doing it right. This happened with bottom deal, with me practicing the bottom deal. What happened is I was practicing it from my point of view, not from the audience point of view, and this is why you should record or have a mirror. You want to see what people are seeing, not what you are seeing. I was doing the bottom deal. I was saying, "Oh my God, this bottom deal is amazing. I can't see anything." And when I film it, oh fuck, that's so obvious, because I was practicing from my point of view. And it's very hard to then switch to the audience point of view. So from first, record your practice. This will help you see magic from your audience point of view, which you should. This will help you track your progress, because every time you record and watch, you can see, oh, I'm getting better. And this is very important to any artist. This will give you motivation to continue and continue to be the best. Tip number 5, please do it, which is record your practice. Now the last tip, tip number 6, which you should apply in all your life, مش بس بالماجيك, which is to practice with intensive focus and consistency. Before you go and say how obvious this is, ask yourself, do you really do it? Do we really focus on stuff anymore? Focus is maybe the most important ability a human being can possess, in my opinion. But we don't all do. We all suck at it. Really, I can't read 10 minutes without being distracted. I'm working on it. We should make our brain less stimulated. Focus, focus, focus. When you're practicing, you should only be practicing. This is very important. No distractions. That means you shouldn't be talking to anyone. No TV in the background, no noises, no phone. Put your phone on airplane mode, turn off the TV, close the door. You should be alone and only on practice. Now, this is very important, and here's why, by the way. I wasn't about to get it behind the science for this, but let's do it. I'm gonna do it briefly. So let's say I'm practicing and I'm focusing on this deck only. There's nothing to distract me. That means all my focus unit, we have a limited amount of focus units in our brain. Let's say there are 5. إني أكتر بكتير, but just let's say for demonstration purposes. So 5 focus units are now here, which is great. Now I'm learning super fast. I can do stuff in like 10 minutes than I usually do in an hour with, like, let's say 2 focus units. But now all my focus units are here. My mom comes in and بتقول الغدا جاهز. Now one of the focus units is gone to my mom. I now have 4 focus units on the deck. What that means, when my mom go, guess what? This focus unit doesn't go back to the deck. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, and the Zeigarnik effect is creating loops. My mom actually created a loop in my head, and it won't close until I have dinner. That's hilarious, but it's true. I lost a focus unit that I'm never getting back, or I can get it back after, like, it takes time. So imagine if not only your mom comes in, imagine if you have people around you, you're checking your WhatsApp, you're watching TV, or you're just having stuff go into your ear, you're in the background. You're only like using maybe one focus unit on practice, and this is so pathetic. Like, you're gonna need an hour for stuff that needs 10 minutes. Maybe you don't see it, maybe now you see it, but when you practice, you should just be practicing, just practicing. Not only intensive focus, but consistency is important. You can't practice twice a week and expect any progress. If you practice twice a week, please get out of the video, please. Oh no, stay, I'm kidding. You might be doing the change. So you should practice every single day. Really, if you missed a day, it's okay, but you should have the intention of practicing every single day. Practice should be one of the things you might do, like brushing your teeth or eating. Practice is one of the crucial stuff you should do. So consistency is also the key. So there it is. This is how you practice. These are my 6 tips, and I really hope you actually apply as much as you can of them. You don't have to apply all of them. And just تفرق بين كل واحد وواحد وقديش how serious they are about their magic. But if you apply these all tips, I guarantee with enough passion, you're gonna see your name shining as a star in magic. So that was my work in the past year and a half on practice. This really helped me a lot. I've been into practice for only 3 years, and I attribute all my progress, again, I'm saying it, to deliberate and effective practice. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's now stop talking about how to practice and jump into the stuff that you should practice, which are the tricks that I covered in this webinar. اوف اخيرا اخيرا يلا هات التريكس مان نحن بس بدنا التريكس عما شو بيحكي. So for the first trick, we actually need 4 cards, and this happens to be the 4 queens. Now the 4 queens are the cards that we're gonna actually use for this trick, and as you can see, there are separated into 2 reds and 2 blacks. So we have 2 red queens and 2 black queens. We're going to use them, these 4 queens, in a minute. The deck, we don't really need it, we just need some cards from it. Let's talk about time manipulation. I can manipulate time. No one believes me. Okay, so there are 2 steps in time manipulation. They are time stoppage. I can stop time instantly, and I can travel through time. So like go to the past and the future. This is amazing. You still don't believe me? Okay, so let's prove it. Let's prove it. So first of all, when you want to manipulate time, and I know you can't, but you need to specify an object that you can manipulate time with. You can't just, I want to manipulate time. No, you gotta do an object. Let's see, playing card. Let's take any card. It really can be animal. Let's say this one. And this card is actually the card that it will travel in time, and the card that will stop time. From now on, no one can see this card, and if there were spectators, they will be holding it, and I'm not touching this card. So this card is held by a spectator the entire time, and this is the card that will travel in time, and the queens will actually be the travelers. So you'll get my point in a minute. We need a card selected, so anyone can select a card. Of course, I'm talking to no one. I have no audience. Let's say they can really name any card. It doesn't matter. So let's say they named the 2 of spades. You want it to be easy to write on and not be a picture card to not interfere with the queens and stuff. So the 2 of spades will actually be going in the middle of the deck. Now, we have the time manipulative card and the queens. And we're going to be only using the queens for this, really. 1, 2, 3, 4 queens. The rest of the deck, we don't need it. I really want you to remember this. Your card is in the deck, and I have the 4 queens, and there is a card that is actually will travel back in time. Okay, so it's not so much stuff to remember. So, let's talk about time stoppage. I want from you to observe this. Queen of clubs will actually go on top of the time manipulative card. That goes on top. I still have 3 queens. The next queen, which is the queen of spades, so the 2 black queens, you can say, will actually go as a sandwich, sandwiching the time card. Black queen on top, black queen on bottom. This actually leaves me with 2 cards, which you get at the 2 red queens. But let's just stop time a little bit. Let's just stop time. I will stop time, and I will only have enough time to switch these to these cards. Okay, I will not touch this card, believe me. Just keep holding it. So 1, 2. I don't know if you see that, but now I have the black queens, and right between the card that you've been holding the entire time actually are the red queens. This is amazing, isn't it? I just stopped time. Oh, well, let's travel in time too. Okay. Remember, this card will be the time traveler? Yeah? Well, it already did. See, this card, you've been holding it the entire time, and I gave you this card before I even let you select a card or name a card, and you've signed that card, so it's the only one. How come the time traveler card be actually your card? So that was time manipulation, and let's jump right into the explanation. So for the explanation, you need 4 queens, as I did in the video, and you want the colors to be alternating red, black, red, black. This is the only order you want them. Any order is possible, but just alternating, not like the reds alone and the blacks alone. So you can actually produce these queens any kind of way you want, and then say you will use them. I usually just say I'm gonna use the queens. I don't produce them, because this is not the point of this trick, really. So I show the 4 queens, and I want to put 3 queens here and keep 1 on top of the deck. How I do this is I put the queens like this in this fashion, and then I just have a thumb break on that queen. Okay, I do it like this, and I show the queens, and I know that there are 2 reds and 2 blacks, and we're gonna actually use this fact in a moment. Now I want to square up the queens and put them on the table. What's actually happening is I will be dropping that break. So as I square up, as this comes to square up on the deck, when this is all squared up, I drop the break, and now I'm only holding 3 cards, and then I immediately square them up like this. So it should look like that I only am squaring up the 3 queens, but in fact I just dropped the queen here. It can be any queen as long as the colors are alternated. You place these 3 queens here, and you move forward and draw no attention to them. I will use them later. That's it. Now, we need the card. You can go through the whole presentation thing. I'm not gonna go through it again. I just did it in the performance. You're gonna just have to really make them. You gotta have the audience management so they know what we're playing with. They should always know as clearly as possible that there are queens here, there are card manipulated card, mystery card here, and their card in the deck there. Okay, and they should actually remember what time they took the cards. So first queens, then this, and the last thing was the card. So you want now to set a card to have to be the time manipulative card, and this will actually be the queen that you dumped. But you don't want to do this, of course. You just want to make it look like you're pulling a random card. So just cut the queen and leave a pinky break on top of the queen of diamonds. Okay, so the queen is on top, you just cut, you have a break, and you cut on top of the break. Okay, as you're talking, you don't look at the deck. So you say, we need a random card to be travel in time. I can just travel in time. We need something to travel in time. So let's take any card, can be really any card. No one can look at that card because this card has multiple identities. This is maybe the reason I didn't say this maybe in the performance. This is the reason I actually use for them not to, oh, that's the queen. You don't want them do this. So you say, because we're not looking at this, because this have multiple identities, and if we looked at it right now, before what we're going to happen in the future, we're going to actually, we'll have a mess in our mind, and we'll not understand time anymore. So just don't look at it for the mystery of the trick. Now you have to select a card, and it really can be any card. Let's say it's the 4 of diamonds. Okay, So again, you don't want it to be a picture card and something easy to write on their name on. And along with their name, they can actually also write the time that they actually take the card in. Okay, so let's say أخذوها الساعة 5 بالضبط بيكتبوا 5 o'clock, because you want this card will be this card at the end, you know. And when they actually see it, they will remember that they wrote the time that they took it in and how now it's here and these other stuff, because the spectator is holding this card and you tell them not to move, by the way. So you have this card and you want to control it to the top. You can use your favorite control. I just did a pass. You can do a double undercut, simply as simple as this, without dropping any extra cards. The card is on top. Here's the first move you're gonna do. It's not a move even, but you want to make this casual. Okay, I will use the queens. These are three, but you say I will use the four queens, 1, 2, 3, 4, for this trick. And the cards, I don't need them. You give them to someone, and you really draw the fact that you have four queens, and the card is here, and that you gave him this card before they selected this card. You always want to remember them this. So four queens. Actually, this now is their card. You cut 2 by 2 and then you move these to the top. Okay, so you cut in the middle as you turn over, because you want to execute an Elmsley count. Now I'm not going to explain the Elmsley count right now, but it just goes like this. Okay, so it's a way of showing these four cards hiding the 4 of diamonds. Go check YouTube for the Elmsley count. I can't really go through it right now. So now this is the order after showing. Okay, these are the queens and this is the card manipulative time. These are what are we playing this right now. These are in play. So now we're gonna do 2 double lifts simply. You're just gonna have a break under the top card and just do a double lift. This shows the queen of clubs. You put it on top. The first queen goes on top, remember. You then do this. You reverse the order of the cards, leaving a break to do a second double lift. And this will show the second black card. Now, if the queen that you put in the first that you dumped was actually black, this will be the reds. So it doesn't matter. The colors doesn't matter. Anyway, 2 blacks are sandwiching the card manipulation time that no one knows of it. And the 2 blacks are now actually here. You want to just draw the fact a little that these are red queens. So you just say, and of course I have, you guessed it, the red queens. Then you stop time. And you say that you only have enough time to only switch the queens. Because if you stop time, you can easily take that card in and remove their card and put it here. But you only have enough time, you stopped it, to actually switch the queens. And now you're gonna do the switch here, which is the only move really now. So the black queens are here, and now the heat is over here, and everyone is suspecting that these are the red queens, and possibly. So you hold everything up. If you actually, if they were like this, by the way, the spectator will be holding this. So the only way you can put these 2 cards in is like this. They should be pinching them. So because I don't want this to be like this, you can't do the switch. Okay, so they will be holding everything like this. You take the whole cards. This is what you're gonna do. This is their selection, okay? But they think that these are the 2 red queens, where in fact these are the 2 red queens. So here's the switch. I'm gonna do slow motion and then I'm gonna explain it step by step. You're going to take this and you're gonna turn it. The moment you turn it, no one is looking here, so you just do this simple motion. Don't do this, just this. You turn it, you then take this and turn this like this. Okay, I'm sorry, turn it above. So again, this is the setup. You take the bottom card, you will turn the 2 bottom cards. You pinch everything like this. You take the bottom card and you flip it over. Okay, you put it on top. You hold this one and you turn this. That simple. Okay, watch it over and over if you didn't get it, and then give them that card back. Hold it, and now I have the 2 red queens here, and that was time stoppage. And then you go into the time manipulation thing and tell them that this is now traveled in time to be their card, which they signed and wrote the exact time they took the card in. So really, presentation and psychology is the thing that actually makes this trick go from here to here. Not from here, because it's already here. It's a very good trick. The transposition of the card from the deck to their hand is completely invisible. It's amazing. And they will be holding it in their hand, and it will just blow their mind how impossible that was. I hope you use this wisely, because really psychology is everything. You really have to make everything clear to them about this trick. I hope you enjoyed it. So here's the explanation for the stack trick. I'm not gonna do the performance. I'm just gonna explain it. I'm sorry. So here's what you do. You take all the aces alone, all the twos alone, all the three, all the fours. Okay, I'm sorry, all the fours, all the fives, all the six, seven, eight, nine, 10, jack, queen, king. And you want them like to be random colors, okay? So, and you start taking them one by one like this, okay? So you want to create a stack. I'm sorry. You go start from king. You start from the king and you go down because you want to go down to the ace. So you start like this. This is how you create the stack. I'm sorry I'm wasting your time and creating it in front of you, but I really want to give everyone an easy way to do it. Now I have my first stack, ace of 3 king, with random suits and colors, okay? So that's the first stack. I do it again, just king, picking cards up, face up, from the king till the ace. And that's how I get my second stack of ace of 3 king, and I put it on top. Oops. Again, one last time before you actually start screaming. You can actually, I guess right now no one is watching. You all just skip this. Okay, so the last one is this. And now I have a deck which have ace through king or king through ace going downward through its whole card. So king through ace, king through ace, king through ace, king through ace. After you do this, you want to cut at the 8. You can cut at any number. I just cut at the 8. I just found it the best and put it the first 8. Okay, so you move the first 6 cards to the bottom. And now you're ready. Okay, I'm sorry not performing this. I just don't want the videos to be so long for you guys. So this is the performance of it. Once you have this stack, the thing is, the idea of this trick, that the spectator will cut into 4 places and he will find the 4 aces. Okay, so the key, the only thing, 2 things you want to do. Make the stack and make sure they cut in the middle. Okay, you don't want this cut to happen, or like someone cuts like this. They should cut in the middle. Okay, maybe this actually will work because now there are 5. Yeah, it will work, but please let them cut in the middle. Just say, let's see if you have precision cuts. If you actually follow the instructions of mine, you will be able to find the 4 aces. You should really cut in the middle. This is the only thing you can do. Cut in the middle and you will find the 4 aces. So just make something out of it, but just let them cut in the middle of the deck. So 4 cuts. Here's how. The first cut, they separate half by half. Now they want 2 more cuts, so they cut this one to here and this one to here. Very simple, okay? Nothing to memorize really. Again, cut in half. You don't want them to remove 1 card out of each one. So cut in half to here, cut in half to here. If you have multiple spectators, I actually see it better for each spectator to do 1 cut only. Okay, so وزعوا المهام عليهم, because if someone actually make the first cut in the middle, it's less likely they want to cut again in the middle. They want to change. Okay, so we have 4 right here. Remember, the card on top is this one, I guess, which is a 7. You always know this. This is powerful. I'm gonna tell you why. Now they think that there is an ace on top of each one, or they don't think, but maybe that's like what this looks like, but it's not. It's even powerful, believe me. It's powerful when you show like that this is a 7, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's an ace. It's way more powerful to have an ace on top. I don't know why, but it is. So how this works, well, we have set stacks from kings to ace. So whenever you cut, if this is a 7, I know this is a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace. Oops. Okay, I misplaced the ace لما هلا رجعت شلته وحطيته. So there's the ace. Oh my god, I was sure ace, and no bitch, it's a king. Okay, so 7, that means I could 1, remember, count this with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's the first ace. Same for here. Now if we get an ace immediately, that's amazing. Oh, another 7, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's amazing. Another ace. Let's see here. Oh, an 8. This was so close to be a 7. It's going to be an amazing trick. So an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there should be an ace. Okay, just do this and just self-working. This is an amazing trick. And for this is powerful because you see, you know this is a 7 for sure because it was on top. So you go, I guess this is a 7. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and this is the last ace. I explained this so fast, so if there's any question on it, please let me know. So for this trick, I actually did 4 kings because I'm going to actually show you how gamblers cheat. I mean, not all gamblers, but cheaters, gamblers. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some stuff in cheating, but not all of them because we can go for all of them. So I'm going to explain some and I'm going to show you other some. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is riffle stacking. You think the cheater or dealer maybe is shuffling, but he's actually riffle stacking the kings. So now I know there's exactly 3 kings on top of this, which is good and very helpful and if I'm playing poker. And 3 kings on top of this. So now if I want to deal like 1, 2, 3, I get a king. 1, 2, 3, I get another king, which is very powerful if I can actually shuffle the full kings or like any hand I want in the deck as I'm shuffling, and when I deal, I get it. Or where someone else deal, doesn't matter. So let me show you a simpler version of riffle stacking. What's the simplest version of riffle stacking? Let's say me against you, 5 cards, 5 cards. So the only thing you need to do to get the kings is to put a random card between each king. So I can get the random garbage card and you get the kings. You're so selfish. Okay, so let's say random cards, these cards on the top of the deck. So random cards against the kings, okay? So it goes like this. You should alternate them to riffle stack them. To stack them. Random card and a king. Again, random card and a king. It just goes like this. It goes like this forever. Random card, a king, and again one last random card and one last king. Now they are random card, king, random card, king, random card, king. It doesn't get any further than that. If this stack is on top and I started dealing to you, you will get the king. So you'll get king and then random, king, random, just like this. You should only be getting kings and I should only be getting random cards. Now, oh, we have 4. We'll just deal 1 more card because in regular poker hands, you get actually 5 cards per person. So 5 here and 5 here. Oh, this is amazing. Look, this is amazing. Okay, I know what you got. You got the 4 kings. That's so clever. So we have actually 4 kings. Now this was not a surprise, but I'm gonna tell you what's the surprise now. My hand is not garbage. I got the 10 of hearts. If you saw it, I actually get the 10 of hearts, which is a good hand. A good card, I mean. Because the 10 of hearts would actually allow me to do a really, really clever cheating move. Oops, this one. No, not this one. Which is this. And this actually gives me a royal flush and hearts. Anyway, the explanation of this is a trick by Jack Carpenter. I'm gonna put the credits in the end of the video. So you need 4 kings, obviously. You need a royal flush and hearts, except the king because it will be with the kings. And you need 3 random cards. They can be any card. Just don't let them be queens and kings and aces and stuff. Okay, so 3 random garbage card. Here's the setup. First, this you split it into 10 and the rest of them. Okay, you have 10, jack, queen, ace. This is the order. It's very important. I call this the 10 sandwich because the card will be actually sandwiched between 2 random cards. So we have the 10 sandwich and we have a random card that we'll actually put under the ace. Okay, remember this setup. So the 10 sandwich, the royal flush, there's a random card below the ace, and there are the 4 kings. So this goes first, then the 10 sandwich, and then the kings. That's your setup now. Here's the explanation for it. I didn't explain this in the webinar because there was not enough time. Now we have time. So you show the 4 kings. Again, you can actually produce them any fashion you want. And in this trick, you can actually produce them like precisely cutting, because you are actually demonstrating cheating. So you can cut, show a king, like cut, do whatever table stuff you want. You don't want like flashy instant things. You want something that looks that you have real skill in the cards. 4 kings, and the order of the kings is not important as long as the second king is the king, it matches the royal flush. So I'm using royal flush in hearts. I want hearts to be the second. If I'm using it in spades, space would be the second. Okay, so 4 kings like this. I use chased order. Now you'll start talking with the same presentation I did. Again, I'm not gonna go over it again, but here's the move that you're gonna do. I'm not gonna go deep into these because most of them are already known, like the elm stick and stuff. But you should really focus in this trick you should practice it so that you can be doing it with a flow. You don't want to pose every time you want to do a move or a double lift from this hand. Okay, so you just want to do it fast. This is the key for this trick. So you talk about riffle stacking. It's not important. Riffle stacking is just I put this here and then I without destroying this. So I start from here because I don't want to destroy the order I made the 10 sandwich and the royal flush. So I do this and I keep 3 cards on top of it. This is not important. Don't do this. Don't. Just say that you want to explain cheating and people stack cards, and we're gonna stack the simplest game now. Me against you, 5 cards, 5 cards. The way to do this is to put a random card between each king. And you start by doing this. As you're talking, you want to get a break under the first 6 cards. Okay, so count 6 and get a break as you're talking. Don't make a deal out of it. Be casual. So you take a break, and then you show. I'm gonna use these random cards. I don't know, like a 5. You just show them like this. You show single, 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 and then you show all the cards above the break, which would be a triple. So you just go like this, put them all here, and show like this for just a moment. You don't have to go like, look, random cards. Okay, so just you're showing. Let's use the top cards to stack. I just this random cards right here, and I will just put them between each king. And so when I deal, you get the king and I get the random card. You got the idea. So yeah, randomly. And then when you put them down, you don't have to have any break. Okay, so you start stacking. You say we have a random card. Start with the random card. And even if you're not doing any fishy action right here, you should really raise a little bit of suspicion, because when you are actually doing the fishy action, which is completely invisible, you should be flowing with the. You should have the same rhythm. You know what I mean? When you're doing a bottom deal, you don't want to be from top, from top, from top, from bottom. Okay, you want to have the same rhythm. I think you got my point. So random card and then a king. You do like this. Okay, please do this. Again, random card. Do this. Okay, so don't go random card. No, go random card, because you're going to actually do this again. And a king. Take it with this hand, which is again important. Now go random card, and as you show this one, get a break on the top card. So random card, you have a break, you close it, and immediately, you don't want to stop. Again, the rhythm. Immediately put it here with the break. Okay, so you show the third time. So first 2 times were fair. Second time you show this. As you close, you get a break. As you close, you actually hold both cards above the break, the double, and you put it here. Immediately your hand goes to the king and picks it up. Okay, you don't want to make. I don't want to see this. You have a random card and a king. No, please. Come on. You just did those fast, so do this fast again. So you have a random card and a king. When you're showing this king, you should be getting a break under the top 2 cards, either by pinky count, push off, or just do this. Okay? So you put this, you go in here, and you get a break under the top 2 because you're going to do a double lift. You put the king. This hand comes here. You take the king and a king. You get the break. Now you do a double lift. Oops, I did a triple. Sorry. You will do a double lift. If you did a double, the ace will not show. So you do a double lift. Again, another random card. It's hiding the queen. So, and you put both of these here. You can actually do this if you're not comfortable with doing this. Now, I am using borderless cards, so it's very easy. If you're using cards with borders, you might consider turning the double like this. So, and a random card and a king. And you're done. Okay? I'm not gonna go over this again. Please just rewind the video. So, stack goes on top, and you're gonna explain that the cards are now alternating, even if they're not. Little do they know. So, the king goes for you, and the random card goes for me. Now, this is not a random card. Okay, this is the queen of hearts. A king goes for you. Now, this is not a king. This is a random card. But you just go like this. You just follow the rhythm. Okay. Now, if I started dealing to you first, you will get a king, and I will get a random card, right? And king random, king random. Now you can show again. Okay, so the first one and the fourth one you can show king. And you will actually get all the kings, and I will get just random cards. Again, this is not random. I got a jack of hearts. So you do this, and then you put the deck, and you make it look like on a second thought. Oh, we have 4. You just need one more card, and this is actually another king, and I need one more card. Now there are 2 options here: either to do a second deal, or because you want the ace. The ace is second, and there's a random card on top of it. If you did this, you will get 5, which is not good. So you want the ace. So you put his card here, and then you do a second deal, which I suck at. Or you do what I do, and a random card for me. Oops. You make like you accidentally drop it, and you just put it in the middle because you saw it, even though they already saw all your cards. But just, I need card. Okay? So again, if there's a random card on top of the ace, you either do a second deal or go like this, and the card. Oops, you say a card for me, and then you like accidentally drop it. and you put it in the middle of any card for me. Don't make a deal of it, okay? So now they have these cards and these cards. This is the only move now you need to do. Elmsley count. But remember, take the top card, scoop all the cards with. Don't hold them like this. No. Take the top card and swoop all the cards with, turn it over, and do an Elmsley count. When you do an Elmsley count, you do like this. Now, this is a variegation. When you take the king, and you're taking that last king, you gotta take the bottom card with it. So you go like this, you remove these fingers, you're now holding it, oops, you're now holding it just like this. You go, you take the king, and immediately to take that card, because there's still a random card that you want to show, like this. Okay, so it's like you're counting it with them. So, again, Elmsley count. So you do Elmsley count, and you go like this, and you take it. Of course, you don't want it to look like you're taking it. It's just coming from underneath the king. So as you're counting, you're taking this, you're just putting this and taking the bottom card, putting it on top again. Okay, because you don't only want to show 4 kings. There is a random card. Here's the same thing. You do this, you scoop all, and you got yourself a royal flush. The king and the queen are actually switched. I'm sorry. The 10 will always be here. So the king, but no one actually cares about the order of the royal flush. You just got a royal flush. And I hope you like this trick. So for the next trick guys بدنا نحكي شوي عن البوكر. So you should know the poker hands. أول شيء هي هون بهيدي الصورة لا. أول شيء رويال فلاش بس بالبوكر اللي كده نحكي عنها ما في رويال فلاش. So full house. Then we have the 3 of a kind. The 3 of a kind هي أقوى من ال 2 pair. لما يكون في عنا 2 pair ال 3 of a kind أقوى منها. So 3 8s بتهزم مثلا 2 7s and 2 queens أو أي 2 pairs. وآخر شيء في عنا ال pair which is the least powerful hand. So 2 pairs أقوى من 1 pair و 3 of a kind أقوى من 2 pairs وأكيد full house أقوى منهم كلهم. So for this trick I'm gonna go into the explanation right away because I can't perform it really. I don't have a spectator. I really can't perform without a spectator. So the explanation for a trick that I didn't perform. How I'm gonna do this? Okay, so it's a poker trick where you show the spectator that you have removed all the high cards, the jacks, tens, queens, and aces, and nines. You actually remove 3 of a kind, but you don't tell them. You removed actually only 3 cards. So you say you have all of them. You just say I have 8 high cards, ace, 9 through ace, and we're gonna play poker. So, I'm sorry. First phase, you deal. I mean, the spectator deals, and you look at your hand and you win. Second phase, you deal face up, and you give them the opportunity to switch cards with you, any card to any card, and you'll again always win. Third phase, you actually show him the card face up, and he picks any card they want to them or to you, and you always win. Okay? So here's what you do. Remove 3 of each kind of these, 9 through ace. Okay? Put the aces, queens, and tens together in a pile, and the nines, jacks, and kings together in a pile. These can be shuffled, and these can be shuffled, but together they can be shuffled. Okay, so this is the principle of the trick. When you're playing the poker game, you're actually dealing 10 cards, 5 to you and 5 to him. Okay, and these are 9 cards and these are 9 cards, which makes this trick possible. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you make them shuffle. You say you have high cards, and let's shuffle them. You have a break, of course. Don't shuffle these 2 together. You have a break. Let's shuffle them out. You shuffle these, you shuffle these, you shuffle these. Okay, so you're breaking them into the 9 and jack 10, jack king pile, and this is the 9, the 10 queen ace pile. Okay, you can break this, but don't break them into each other. Okay, so they shuffle these, you take back, okay. You gotta have them separated. It doesn't matter if this is on top or this is on top, so they can be either like this or like this. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So you give them deck, you say deal. Now as they dealing, they should deal the first card to you. When you take the first card to you, you will win. If they take the first card, you will lose. Because as I'm dealing, let's say they are dealing, so they deal the first card to you because the dealer deals to the opponent first. I get a card, he get a card. Now the cards we are getting are actually from the ace, queen, 10 packet, right? It's on top, ace, queen packet. So it's either an ace or a queen or a king, sorry, ace or queen or a 10, which is great. So we're dealing. When he gets to 4 and 4, there's only one card that is either a 10 or an ace or a queen. And guess who's getting it? Me. And the card that is not an ace, it's not a queen, it's not a 10, he will get it. So this card will actually ruin his poker hand. Now when you look at his poker hand really, and you can see a pair of tens. Now you know that the cards dealt because you dealt them from the top packet, which had three aces, three queens, and three tens. So if he have two tens, and an ace and a queen, you know that you have the rest of the two aces. You have two aces. The rest of the queens, you have two queens, and you have one 10, right? Because there were three tens, and this doesn't matter. This ruins his hand. So if he has a pair, you have two pairs. And that's correct. I have two queens, two aces, and a 10. And you can say it. You can say, you got a good hand. But I can tell you, I always win. And I won with a pair of aces and a pair of queens and a 10. You can just say a pair of aces or a pair of queens, or just say a pair, two pairs, okay? Now, what happens if he actually got, let's say, two pairs again? If you have two aces and the queen should be with you, of course. If you have two queens and two aces, if you see him having two pairs, you will have a full you will have, I'm sorry, a three of a kind, okay? And three of a kind beats two aces. So if you have two aces, you know he have no queens, which means you have the three queens, and then you can say, oh, I beat you with three of a kind, and I have the three queens. Okay, what if he have three of a kind? Let's say he have three tens, which means the king is always with him, okay? Because you started dealing first, which means you will have an ace. So if you have three of a kind, you know that you have a full house. So you can always, when you see their cards, you can say that you will win, and you can say by which hand you will win. After you finish, you want to return to the original stack. So this one, which has the kings, the nines, and the jacks, should actually get the jack again. So what you do, you just scoop them up, you put the king, this on top, and this on top, and you're back where you started, the king's packet and the aces packet. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry, my battery died. Now let's back to phase number 2. So I already explained phase number 1. So phase number 2, you will deal face up. Again, you should take the first card. They can deal, but I prefer you dealing this because there will gonna be a lot of switching. So first card goes to you. Oh, I'm sorry, that card is here. Remember, I have the 9 Jack King here and the 10 Queen Ace on top. Okay, or the opposite, it doesn't matter. So second phase, also simple. First card goes to you, you win. You already win because the last card will go to him. But now he can actually switch anything. So you didn't change anything because already in that phase he could also switch anything. But now you want it to start like dealing face down, now face up, and you can switch. And the last phase is the most powerful. So you kind of like getting up more powerful and more powerful. So you get the first phase. You always deal one to you and one to him, and then stop and ask if you want to switch. Now let's say he said yes because he loves the ace of spades because it's more powerful. But here it doesn't matter, as you can see they're both aces. Next card to you and to him. They're both queens. Again, a coincidence. Do you want to switch? Maybe he say no. Maybe he will switch the ace with the queen, so he can maybe get two queens, but he'll give me two aces. So maybe let's say they said no, I don't want to switch. Again, it doesn't matter. They're gonna get the card that will ruin their stack. I get another queen, and he get another ace. Now he have a pair of aces, and I have a pair of queens. Do he want to switch? I do not think so because a pair of aces is better of a pair of queens. Again, they can switch and they will lose. That's how powerful the trick is. We then deal, sorry, and we both get tens. And now, if you ask them, do you want to switch anything for anything? I think the answer would be no for them. Yeah, I think they might they might do one thing. They might give you the 10 and take a queen. Okay, now because you have a pair of tens, but they have two pairs, queens and two aces, which is very powerful. So yeah, they might do this. Now you will deal the last card to you and to them, but you're gonna say if they want to switch anything, they switch because once you deal the last card, they can't switch. Let's say they're settled. They have two powerful pairs and you have one normal pair. You deal to you, you got a 10, and you deal them. They got the ruiner card that ruins. And yeah, this is the same card they got in the first phase. So after you finish the first phase, let them shuffle this packet and this packet again, so they don't get the same card. It kind of looks suspicious. Oops, it's normal. Even if it's happened, there's nothing to get oozy about. But just let's say there's a different card that happened to you. What's the matter with the King of Spades? Okay. As you can see, you win again. They have 2 pairs and you have 3 of a kind, and again 3 of a kind wins 2 pairs. Okay. I'm sorry. Now, third phase. This is maybe the most complicated one to set up the cards. It's gonna be like this. First of all, you want to collect the cards, right? So look for the ace of spades, and you want to always know where the ace of spades is. I'm not gonna say leave it on the table. I usually leave it on the table face down. Like I'm collecting the cards after like everything happened. I leave it face down, and I take the 9 to the packet that I want. Right? This is the packet of the 9s. This goes on top. This goes on top. This goes here. Because in this phase, you want the ace of spades to be here, followed by all this 9 king jack packet, and then this useless packet for this trick, which we will not use because we will be dealing face up. This is how this phase goes. So I have the ace and this packet, which we will use. These will not be played because I will deal 5 and 5, and these are 10. So as you can see, all the 9s, a 9, we have also 3. I'm sorry, this 9 shouldn't be here. This is an extra 9, by the way. I have 3 9s. This was extra. I don't need it. I'm sorry. So yeah, 3 king, 3 jack, 3 9, and an ace. The ace is the card that will ruin the hand, because whoever gets this ace can't make a pair. There is no other aces. It can't make a full house. Can't make a 3 of it. It can't make anything. So this will ruin the hand. Whoever gets this ace will lose, and you want to make sure they get this ace. Now, let's talk about this for a moment. This is the setup. This phase, you're gonna deal face up. So you're gonna say, do you want this card to me or to you? Do you want this card to me or to you? And they decide to me or to you, and they get whatever they want. So how do you make sure they get this ace? They say to me. Well, you say, oh, the ace of spades, the most powerful card. Do you want this to me or to you? 99% of the people will say to me, like to them, yeah, and they will take it. That means they lost. I'm sorry. Automatically they lost the game. Now the rest of the cards will, your hand will be more powerful because they have the card that will ruin their hand. What if they said to you? They said to you, they just feel they're giving you the ace. Okay, now you're in trouble. But there's a way to get out of this trouble. You will lose. There is no way you're gonna win right now unless you do some stuff. Right? But just let's keep it simple. You will lose. And I'm gonna say, here's a twist I came up with. Ace. Oh, nice. You gave me an ace. That means I will win. By the way, do you wanna? Are you interested in knowing how I win? See, here's the secret. Here's the secret. I actually, like, you can literally say anything here. I say, oh, I usually have the right leg on top of my left leg. Okay, so I will usually be crossing my legs, but now I have a mat and stuff. I can't. Or let's say, I usually have my chest up. I usually wear a hat. I usually wear glasses. I usually do anything, and this is how I win. If you did this, you will win because you want to give them a reason to tell them why they will win now. It's like you're transferring luck to them. You can say, what? Who gets this ace? Let's say they give it to you, and now you will lose. I say, oh, okay. Now what? Who gets? And by the way, do you know how you wanna مش ما بدك تكون إنه لأنه أعطوك القص أنت بدك تخليهم يربحوا. It's just okay. وبدك by the way تخيلت كأنه on a second so طلعت معك هلا يعني. اوكي سو بدك تعرف كيف عم بربح؟ عندي شغله بتعطيني حظ مثلا 500 and you give it to them. هلا انت حتربح ليك تعرف شو؟ جرب اخسار، جرب قد ما فيك ربحني وحتضلك تربح لانه هيدي خلص بتعطيك لاك وما عادش فيك تخسر. Now even if they try to lose they will win. You will lose because you have this one. Whoever gets this one this time loses. So you turn the game. Okay, so now you get the ace, you gave them the luck, and they will win no matter what. Now they will try to lose and win, which is even more powerful. I find this amazing. You get amazing laughs because they're trying to lose and they win. This is amazing. So I'll go over the 2 scenarios. Even you get the ace or they get the ace. Let's say you get the ace and now you will lose. You gave them the luck. This card for me or for them, remember, they're trying to lose. So let's say that they take the jack. The jack is a normal card. A king, let's say they give it to me. Another king. Remember, they want to win, so they will give you the king. I mean, they want to lose. You tell them, try to lose. So they want you to win, so they will give you the king. They will say, give it to you. Good to have a pair. Another king, they will also give it to you. They will say, take the king, win. Okay, now we have a jack. If they get it, they will get a pair. But if they give it to you, they don't get a pair. But remember, if you take this jack, you will now have 5 cards, and the rest 4 cards will be for you. So let's say they take it. Pair of jacks isn't a big deal. Let's say they take it. A 9. Let's say they take it too. Another jack. Okay, they don't want to have the 3 of a kind because they want to lose. They're trying to lose, but they have this luck thing. So let's say they give it to you. They now have 5 cards, and there's still 2 cards to deal to you. And guess what? There are the 2 9s, and you get a full house. They were trying to lose. You get 3 of a kind, and they got a full house, and they win. So yeah, that is the trick. So if they said they want the ace, let's say they want the ace, now you're good. You don't say anything about losing and winning. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna win again." You get, of course, you don't say this. Just in your head, you're gonna win because they take the ace. They will lose. So however they set it up, however they take cards. This is to you. This is to me. Whatever, whatever, whatever. You will always have the winning hand, because you always don't have that ace which they have. As you can see, I have 2 pairs and they have only 1 pair, so you will always win when they get the ace. And when you don't, when you get the ace, I just told you what to do. This was the trick. I hope you enjoy it. It's very, very powerful. I'm so sorry if you didn't get the full principle of this trick, and if you didn't understand something, please hit me up in the comments. وبعرف ملبق الورقة كان زي ما راح هلا بعد ما ابعت الفيديو. So please اي حدا عنده اي استفسار عن the tricks, I think we're done. I think I covered everything. Please let me know. This was very fun webinar لما كنا عاملينها باللايف. عارف صار لنا زمان. I'm so sorry. We should have sent the videos way earlier with the lecture notes. I'm so sorry. عني وعن خسر. It was amazing, and it would have been ما كنا حنوصل لشيء without your support. Thank you very much لكل حدا شارك. I know it sucks, by the way. There's a lot of problems in it because it's our first time. And please, if you see something that you don't like, just say it. Please say it, because I want to know the negative stuff about this. I want to know my mistakes to learn from them and grow from them. So please, any negative feedback is more welcome than any positive feedback, by the way. So constructive criticism, and see you guys later. I hope you really enjoyed it and hope you're doing well. Have a great day.